Jai Janendra everyone. I welcome you all to the third lecture of the second module of the series Substances, Attributes and Modifications. As we are discussing this topic since the last module and then this module it's the third lecture. In the every lecture I have introduced this topic as the most important and crucial topic amongst every fundamental topic which we will learn in Jainism, which is Dravya Guna Paryay, substances, attributes, and modifications. Very privileged to have Creet Uncle with us. He is associated with JEEV since a very long time, and we have invited him to just demonstrate about Dravya Gun Paryay, which is the most fundamental and the basic terminologies for every Atmarthi to learn in Jainism. So, in the previous lecture, Creed Uncle beautifully explained about gun, the attribute. There are two types of attributes. One is found in every of the substance, that is, we call as Samanya Gun. The other we call as the Vishesh Gun, which are specifically present in particular dravya, like Jeev Drav has certain Vishesh Gun, with Ajeev has some other. Similarly, today just taking a topic ahead, we have completed Samanya Good Astitva, only the first topic, the first good, the first Samanya Good. Further five we will be discussing today, and then we will be taking this series ahead. So now, before I invite Preet Uncle to start today's lecture, let me shortly introduce you all about this beautiful platform called JEEV, which is Jain English Education and Values. It is a very beautifully designed platform to learn Jainism in English medium, in English language. Everything on this portal, on this website, on the YouTube channel of the website has been segregatedly designed in a module format in the English language. Further, how to access the portal, how to access the lectures, I will be discussing in the later part of the lecture. Now, over to you, Kreet Uncle, to start today's session.
Thank you, Harshal. We will start now. Jai Jain, everybody. We'll do the Mangalacharan. Om Namo Lui Sarvatrikavarti Ariyantanam. Namo Lui Sarvatrikavarti Siddhanam. Namo Lui Sarvatrikavarti Ayaryanam. Namo Lui Sarvatrikavarti Ujjayanam. नमो लूये सर्वत्र कालवर्ति सावनम ओंकारं बिंदु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनं कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः नमः समय साराय स्वानुभूत्या चकासते चेत स्वभावाय भावाय सर्वभावान्तरचिदे अज्ञानतिमिरन्धानां ज्ञान अंजनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः ॐ नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ॐ नमः सिद्धेभ्यो ॐ श्री शुद्धात्माने नमः जय जिनेन्द्र So we are continuing our class so far on Dravya Guna Paryay. We learned to start with what is Dravya, what's a substance. Then we try to learn, we understood what's a gun and paryay. And in gun, in attributes, we came to two types of attribute. The common attributes and specific attributes. What's the difference between those two? Common attribute means they are common in all the six substances of the universe. Means having that attribute tells me that there is a substance present. If there is no attribute, common attribute, then I won't be able to know a given substance present in the universe. Every substance, they have a common attribute, means they are common in JEEV, matter, medium motion, medium rest, space and time. So these are, so as I said last time in six common attributes. They're infinite in numbers, actually, but we are just considering only six right now. When we say six, what does it mean? That Acharya Bhagwan said that, as a mundane soul, you have no capacity to realize infinite attributes. But if you know six that we are presenting in front of you, then you will be able to, your work will continue to go on. So they gave us 6 out of infinite. Acharya Bhagwan has done a tremendous favor to us. Okay, so out of the 6, we talked eternal existence attribute last week. We said eternal existence attribute means, as I told you and we discussed in great length, that if you know nothing means nothing, if you are plain, pure, generic person coming from the street not knowing anything about Jainism, if you know only the presence of eternal existence attribute in the soul substance and matter and media of motion, media of ray, space and time, you can obtain Samyak Darshan and later on leading to liberation. Only one little thing, eternal existence attribute to know about it. We went through in detail. Now we are going to go through remaining 5, and they are doing the same job, that it helps us out to go through. If we go in detail about remaining 5, let me share the slide so that way you are with me on what is happening. Eternal existence attribute we talked about, and we learn about it. And as I said, one can get liberation, Samyak Darshan and liberation, just by knowing this guy alone. This is the beauty of these common attributes. Similarly, the rest of the 5, like functionality, changeability, and then what's next? Knowability, Aguru Lagutva and Pradeshatva, all these things, when you know it in their own nature, then one can obtain Samyak Darshan. You don't have to know all the great literature in absolute depth. This will help us. Who am I? What's my nature, etc. So that was existence attribute. We talked about it. Now we are going to talk to the next one today. We are going to talk to the functionality, vastutva. This is also very important attribute. Functionality means each and every attribute does their own function. Remember, this is a soul substance having infinite attributes within, common and specific ones. And out of those common attributes, there is something called functionality attribute, means it allows one attribute to do its own function. Once again, the soul has a innumerable space points. So imagine that this is a kind of a small round ball in a big room. The room you are sitting a small round ball you put it in, teeny tiny small round ball. That is like innumerable space point, and the whole room full of attribute you have it. And they are concentrated in the small round ball, rhino dano, mustard seed. A mustard seed is teeny tiny thing, and the whole room. So mustard seed is represented as if it is the innumerable space point, and whole room full of attributes are there, infinite attributes. And those are all infinite, are concentrated in this mustard seed alone. No, you can imagine how much compactness is there in a given substance. Now, you travel, and I have traveled in India in summertime, and there is trains are jam-packed. There is no room to have anybody go in. But still, a train stops in a station and few more people get pushed in, and somehow they just continue their journey. Here, all these attributes are so close together. Imagine that one. So, this functionality attribute present among all these infinite attribute is like a policeman and says, hey, you're doing your job, he's doing his job, that is doing that job, and everybody is doing their job, not interfering in anybody else's business. That's amazing. There is a word, it says functionality attributes, every substance ends up doing their arthakriya prayojan, means their specific act that they are supposed to do. Knowledge attribute is supposed to do knowing only. Faith attribute is supposed to have a faith only. Conduct attribute is supposed to produce a right conduct within. The bliss attribute is supposed to produce either a blissful state, supersensuous bliss, or disturbances in the soul. So every attribute keeps on doing their own job. This functionality attribute, just like a policeman going through all these infinite attributes, or just like that conductor in an opera, and he is just saying, you are doing this, you are doing that, you are doing that. Isn't it amazing thing that one can ever imagine about all these things? So, these are the things that we get it by knowing Vastutva Gun. It makes everybody to do their own job. I'm trying to look for over here, what are the benefits? Just like the way we saw in a eternal existence attribute, here also knowing the functionality attribute Vastutva Gun, it tells me how can I continue, how does soul is doing the knowing activity and faith activity and conduct activity and bliss activity, etc. So now I know that over here the picture is very good, that eyes are doing the job of seeing only. This is the rough example. Remember one thing, when the example is given in any of the scriptures, examples are given to prove the principles. First you understand the principles, and example is given to understand that principle. It's not other way around that you make the example first and try to somehow put the principle in order. No, 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 no. The spirituality literature says understanding the principle first, and to understand that much better, you have an example given. So here, example is given in the form of common example that we know. Eyes can do the function of seeing only, and ears can do the function of listening only. But then you can say, but I'm seeing that foreign movie, English movie with subtitle Hindi, for example, or vice versa. In reality, if you look for it, when you are watching that subtitled movie, you are watching, then you are not listening. When you are reading that subtitle with your eyes, then you are not listening. And when you are listening to the dialogue, then you're not you're not reading and or watching that view. Come on, I can do both. I'm a multitasker. Sure, you're a multitasker. We know that. Acharya Bhagwan says. But when you go on an absolute microscopic level, each samay level, samay defined, not defined, we don't define samay right now, but samay means in blink of an eye. Innumerable samay pass by, means 10 to the power of 46 and beyond. That many samay pass by. And you just said, I just had a blink of an eye. In that samay, one samay, only one act can occur. So eyes will do watching the scene and or reading the subtitle, and ears will not do listening at that time in that samay. Now I give you challenge today or tomorrow or this week. You try to one subtitle movie or a show, 1 hour show, 2 hour, whatever. I can assure you, you'll be tired at the end of that show or movie, because you are doing so many things together so fast, so quick, from here to there to here to there, and you will get tired. So functionality attribute says only one act occur from a given attribute. Eyes will do seeing and or watching, and ears will do listening only. They can't do both together. So that's what functionality attribute is there. And if we know that part, that I am the soul, can I do the function of this pencil? No, I am the owner of this pencil, and because of this pencil, my handwriting comes out. No, it's not like that. Because pencil is doing its own job. Pencil's attributes are doing its own job. I'm the soul, I'm doing my own job. So I have a discriminative science occurred, Ved Vigyan occurs within me. Remember, Vastutva Gun, to know it, and that means I cannot do anything to other object. Number one. At the same time, I cannot do the function of knowing by the attribute of faith. Faith does its own function, and the knowledge does its own function. So this discrimination from other substances occur, discrimination from our own attributes also occur. Beautiful. Can you imagine when I had the discrimination with the other substances of the universe? That means not only this pencil, not only this phone, but this mundane body, this physical body is doing its own job. And I as a soul is doing my job. So I can't do function of the physical body. Discrimination, Ved Vigyan, leads to Samyak Darshan. See, these are each and every attribute, some common attribute. We have not come to a specific attribute here. Then, changeability, this is very important. Changeability attribute is very important. They all are important. Changeability means a given attribute or a given substance. 6 universal substances are there in the universe: soul, matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time. When a given substance, that substance exists, and not only exists, but it also does some work. And that work is called changeability. Dravyatva Gun. In Gujarati, if you say દ્રવ્યનું દ્રવવું એટલે દ્રવ્યત્વ ગુણથી થાય. Means a substance has modification. Substance has a mode. That's why it's called a substance. Substance cannot be sitting doing nothing. It's not like a rock and sitting doing nothing. It keeps on changing, keeps on changing, keeps on changing. Every substance keeps on changing all the time, continuously. A given substance, listen carefully, this is very important principle. A given substance cannot exist without its changeability, means without its changes, without its modification. A mango was yellow to start with. A mango was green to start with. Then it became slightly less green. Then slightly yellow. Slightly orange. These are the changes occurring in this mango. You have seen in your own home this mango. And then you say, oh, this mango is getting ripe. No, today this mango is not ripe, so I have to wait for one more day, because changes keeps on occurring in that mango. Changes occurring within me as a soul continuously. Means I as a soul cannot exist if there is no modification within me. You go to work. You say, I want to work 5 days a week. I need Saturday, Sunday off to unwind myself. And I'm working for a whole year this way. I need to really unwind. I need to have 2 weeks of vacation. This changeability attribute, Dravyatva Gun, making sure each substance has its own mode, non-stop, forever and ever and ever, without taking any break. A substance cannot, I repeat, cannot be seen without a mode. A dravya cannot be seen without its paryay. A Paryay has to be there. So what? What principles are you trying to push around here? Very important principle here. Very important. What does it mean? It says, I as a soul can do on my own modifications. Matter by itself perform its own modification. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, they have work cut out and they have their own modifications all the time. Now, learning point here, if I say this phone, I know so many things about phone. Computer, I can make my computer work the way I want to have it. Parents will say, we are the reason that we made the fortune for the child. I as a boss at the office say, because of me the office is running. Gurudev Sri gives this example quite a few times when some of the industrialists are sitting in the hall. And Gurudev Sri said, sir, you had a factory, 5,000 people work underneath you. That person will say, that industrialist, sir, because of us, 5,000 people get the paycheck and their family gets run, he's able to run his families. Gurudev says, wrong, 100% wrong, because you as an industrialist do your own work, worker with his own work, is doing his own work. You cannot make that worker work, and worker cannot be obliging to you, etc. Everybody is independent. This teaches us independence of all the substances. I cannot do the work of matter substance. Okay, I understand. What's the principle? I cannot do the function of this physical body. Body is a matter. Body is doing its own job. I am doing my own job of knowing, etc. I cannot do body's work, and body cannot do my work. Whoa, yeah. So I'm separate from the body, even though I as a soul reside in this body, but still I am separate from this body. Because I keep on doing my own job, making my own pure or impure modification. It doesn't make difference. Changeability means I can make my own pure or impure modification. It's under my control. I want to be in the form of inclination of attachment, rag, inclination of aversion, dvesh, auspicious thought process, punya bhav, inauspicious process, pap bhav, anger, deceit, ego, greed, all those things I can do with my own wish and will. That is under my control. They are my modes. Or I can have a purity mode get generated. I can just lean towards my soul and have a purity mode. Samyak darshan mode is generated within me because of my own personal efforts. By own purusharth, I can do my own job. But ever, never, I can do the function of this physical body. But yesterday I went to the party and they said, oh, at 78 you look very good. I said, yeah. I do exercise, I do running, I do maintaining my weight, I control my... Kausalya, you are so wrong in saying those kind of things, because physical body, weight gain, weight loss, remaining disease-free, controlling diabetes, everything is body's job by itself, not your job. And I am taking pride that because of me, I am maintaining my body so well. This is wrong according to Jain principles. According to Dravyatva Guna, this is wrong. I cannot do the function of body. Let's presume wild possibility that I did the function of this body. I as a soul is doing some function for this body. Function means modification for the body. That means when I as a soul did the function of this body, modification of this body, paryay of this body, matter, then what happened with this matter substances mode at that time? You cannot have two modes in a given samay. Now, I as a soul is doing function of the body, modification of the body, and body is doing its own modification. No, it cannot exist. That means if I as a soul is performing modification of this body, the body has no modification at the time. That means body as a substance, body as a matter substance has no modification, and forever a given substance cannot be there without any modes. Even Siddha Bhagwan has his own continuous mode. Same. But continuously that mode will be there forever and ever. So by knowing this one, it again tells me I can't do the function of this body. Yes, I think if my weight can be remain under control, if my sugar remains under control with the insulin injection, I'll be feeling good. That's what the soul is thinking. And similar things are happening in the body. So when those two things are occurring at the same time, then I say, I did the function of this body. A dog is walking under the bullock cart, and dog says, bullock cart is moving because of me. And he has that pride. And then pretty soon, dog keeps on going straight and bullock cart takes a right turn. Then he realizes, I can't do this work. So change it, Dravyatva Guna. Again gives you discriminative science and says, hey soul, do not interfere in the work of the other substance. You keep doing your own work. Concentrate on your own self. Samyak Darshan. Another way to obtain Samyak Darshan. Beautiful, right? Such a simple way Acharya Bhagavan put the things in front of us. This is another important attribute, knowability. I love this knowability attribute. Prameyatva Guna. Prameyatva Guna is present in all the universal substances. Prameyatva means what? Prameyatva means this pencil has a Prameyatva attribute, knowability attribute. So this pencil announces that, hey, I'm here, know me. Please know me, my existence is there, I'm here. Phone says, hey, I'm here, please know me. Please know me means I have knowability attribute within me. And somebody has knowledge attribute within. Who has knowledge attribute? A soul has a knowledge attribute. So, knowability attribute says to everybody, hey, matter, you know me. Matter says, forget it, I don't have knowledge. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space time, know me. And they say, no, we don't have capacity to know. And comes to the soul and say, hey, you know me. And soul says, yes, I have the knowledge. Even though I could be Nigod, or I could be Siddha Bhagwan, or I could be in between any other living being, but I have knowledge to know. So if I am a Nigod JEEV, lowest form of living being, then also I have knowledge present within me. Teeny tiny knowledge. 1 sense, 2 sense, 3 sense, 4 sense. They have gradually increasing knowledge. And we are the 5 sense sentient being. Yesterday somebody told me, some computer guy told me, hey, you know more computer than me. Well, okay, I'm very proud of it because I had a knowledge attribute about knowing. I had an interest in knowing. We were watching Super Bowl game yesterday. I was asking somebody sitting next to me, hey, what happened here? What happened here? Because he knew about everything. Mahendra was there and he told me everything. Oh, okay, this is happening, that, whatever. Okay. So he has the knowledge there. I have knowledge here. Somebody has knowledge for cooking, somebody has knowledge for medicine, somebody has knowledge for accounting and mathematics and physics. So knowledge ends up knowable object. Knowable object. If knowledge knows this knowable object, knowledge knows this knowable object, knowledge knows this knowable object, etc., etc., etc. Okay, you made a point. Understand? Now, the take-home message here is very important. Remember, this is a common attribute. This is a common attribute, means present in all 6 universal substances, including me as a soul. I am the soul. And I also had knowability attribute within. I as a soul has an attribute of knowledge. I can do the function of knowing. At the same time, I have an attribute of knowability within me. Remember, this guy has knowability attribute. This guy has knowability attribute. Similarly, the soul substance also has knowability attribute within. This knowability attribute of the soul, remember, we know this thing, okay, we know this thing is okay. I know worldly object because they are present and they have knowability attribute. Okay. Medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time, I understood their functions, etc. But now when I'm coming to the soul, soul is also a universal substance. Soul being the universal substance, just like matter, medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time. That means soul also has knowability attribute. So the soul says, hey knowledge, know me also. Wait. This is now getting little weird. Soul has a knowledge attribute and has knowledge mode. So that knowledge mode, present knowledge mode is doing function of knowing. So soul substance tells this knowledge mode, which is doing function of knowing. It says, hey knowledge mode, I am your soul substance. Please know me also. Isn't it funny thing? Soul substance is telling its own knowledge mode that, hey, please know me also. Knowledge mode has known everything around, but also knowledge mode, action of knowing, જ્ઞાનની પર્યાય, જ્ઞાનનું જાણવાનું કાર્ય, પર પદાર્થને જાણે, સ્વને પણ જાણે. Knowledge modification, knowledge mode, knows all the universal object. At the same time, can also know the self object also. So the soul substance is an object. Soul substance is object of knowledge, and soul substance by knowledge attribute and having knowledge mode is having subject attribute too, means knowing capacity and knowability also. Over here you are given the picture of a mirror. A mirror is showing the picture of the rainbow. Rainbow said, hey mirror, you let me look, please reflect me. If this rainbow is front of a wall will not give the image of the rainbow on the wall, because wall does not have capacity for reflection, illumination. But mirror has a capacity to illuminate, and that's why things are illuminating the way they are. My knowledge mode is like that mirror. Again, remember, this is an example. Example is try to prove the point, the principle that knowledge mode acts like a mirror, so everything in the knowledge mode gets reflected, everything in the knowledge mode gets illuminated. So if there is presence of rainbow or a computer or light or book, everything, they get illuminated in my knowledge mode, just like the mirror. Mirror is inert. Mirror does not have to do any extra effort to do this illumination. It simply illuminates. Similarly, knowledge mode does not have to do any extra effort for illumination of the worldly object in it. Whatever those worldly objects, they get illuminated here. So, worldly object get illuminated, but at the same time, me as a soul substance get illuminated here too. So, soul substance is an adobe of knowledge. Soul substance has a knowledge attribute and knowing capacity modification. So knowing is occurring in the soul substance as well as knowability is occurring in the soul substance, both together. So there is a sentence coming in one of the puja, Gyeya Jnana Gyata. Jay means object of object of knowledge, means the soul substance, Jnay. Gyan means the knowability in a knowledge mode. Gyan means a knowledge attribute. Gay is an object of knowledge. Gay, Gyan, Gyata. They all merge together because soul substance is knowable object and soul substance is knowing also. So then when it becomes one undivided thing, when I bring such attention to myself, Samyak Darshan. Next modification is Samyak Darshan. One more thing to learn here. I know the rainbow is there in the sky. Rainbow has done nothing to me. I, as a knowledge mode, end up knowing. So I also, my job is knowing only. I didn't do anything to the rainbow. Rainbow coming and disappearing by itself. I watching by myself. I can't do anything to the rainbow. Rainbow can't do anything to me. Siddha Bhagwan has a complete knowledge of the universe. He's like a pure mirror. Whole universe is getting illuminated. Siddha Bhagwan keeps on doing its own job. Does not interfere in the working of the universe. Similarly, I have knowability attribute. I know the object. I know the body. Body is doing its own job. I'm doing my own job, etc., etc. This is knowability attribute. Beautiful, very nice. And the last one coming right now is, no, there are two more remaining. Oh, Aguru Lagutva. Aguru Lagutva is another constancy of individuality. This is the very important attribute common to all 6 substances, that it says each substance possesses the ability to uphold the constancy of its individuality. Ensuring it cannot convert into another substance, nor any of its attributes detach from the substance or become different attribute. Means, take example of a bag of rice. Rice bag of a rice in your home. And like person like me, unattentive person, picks up this paper bag and walking, and it falls down from my hand, and all the rice particles are scattered in the kitchen, and wife is mad like hell because I was what anyway. So that means a bag of rice was keeping all the rice attributes together. But when it fell down, everybody dispersed. Or you have a container of a rice, maybe 3/4 full, and you put extra rice in it, you can do that. Or you can take some rice out of that container also. Attributes in all substances are not like that. Attributes, they're bound together in a given substance. Attributes are bound together in a given substance. So I, as a soul, forever existing, has an infinite attribute tightly bound within me. Remember that a mustard seed having room full of attribute, they are in that mustard seed and they are tightly, compactly present. So compactly present. Unlike those rice particle, individual particle in a bag or in a container, you cannot take any attribute out of the soul. or matter or medium motion, rest and time. So here we have soul substance has aguru lagutva gun. Because of that attribute, it's tightly controlling everybody and make sure they are not going out of the soul substance. He's like a policeman again. He's like a guard. Does not let anybody get dispersed from the self. This is amazing. That means all the attribute I have it, knowledge attribute I have it, faith attribute I have it, conduct attribute. Will it go away from me? Never, never, never. Even if I go to Nigod or Narak or anywhere else, my attribute are with me, continuously staying with me. So keep that one in mind. So does not let no outside attribute can come in. I mean, matter attribute cannot come to the soul, or soul attribute cannot go to matter. Vice versa, all those things happen, and so I maintain my individuality. And the last one coming is a shape retention, Pradeshatva Gun. Pradeshatva Gun is also important thing, that each and every substance is having its own limitation in the form of area. There is area limitation is there in the sense I as a soul has an innumerable space point, so I have those, I exist within that innumerable space point forever, forever, forever. This pencil has its own shape retention attribute. That's why it is particular shape, even though it's a matter. Same thing, this guy is called phone because it has certain attribute, certain shape, that it remains in that form only. That means you can have your own specific state shape of retention. Soul makes its own innumerable space point, and soul cannot have its function beyond this area. Me as a soul cannot have my influence beyond my innumerable space point. Means I cannot do the function of any other substance of the universe. Similarly, matter has its own shape. Medium motion, medium rest, space and time, they have their own shape. But soul, because we are interested more in soul, so we'll talk more about soul. Soul, this water has taken the shape of the glass over here. So similarly, soul in this transmigratory wandering in the universe, whatever body it goes in, it takes the shape accordingly. When I was in Nigod, I had a teeny tiniest shape. When I was 1 cent, 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, all these different living creatures that we see, the soul takes the shape of that. When soul is an ant, it takes the shape of the ant, teeny tiny, small space. When the soul goes to elephant, it takes the shape of the elephant. When the soul goes to dinosaurs, it takes the shape of dinosaur. When the soul comes to human being, then it takes the shape of the human body. But when the soul gets liberated, the two ways it says. One, it says shapeless, means they have no shape. Or other one, it says it retains the last physical body of the human body, whether it's sitting posture or standing posture. In that way, Siddha Bhagwan will be represented in the Siddhashila. Means this attribute teaches me I cannot do the function of the other objects. I have my area of limitation cut out. This water's area of limitation cut out with this shape only. Water will do its own job, glass will do its own job. This shape of the water, let's say I drank 2 sips of water, then water become less in this glass, but the shape remains the same as a glass. Or I almost completely drank everything, then the shape of the water will be that much only. Similarly, whatever body I go in, I maintain my shape, but my area of influence does not go beyond this shape. My innumerable space point is my area of influence. I cannot do the function of anybody else. I cannot do the function of the body, even though body and the soul occupy same space point, since time infinite. But still, I maintain my individuality and body maintains its own individuality. Same is a medium of motion, medium of rest, space and time. Simply knowing these 6 common attributes. No, don't know anything else. 6 common attributes alone will make you realize, who am I? What's my area of influence? Why I'm eternally existing? Astitva Gun. Why I'm doing function of my own? Vastutva Gun. Why do I have modification every moment? The principle of that Dravyatva Gun, one more last point, I'll take it. It just skipped out of my mind. Dravyatva Gun means every substance is present with its own mode. There are other philosophies of the universe. They say, no. Soul is an inert substance. Only soul cannot do anything. Soul cannot have modification. And Jain principle says, if there is no modification, then that entity does not exist, means ultimately there will be a point that the whole universe will become zero, big zero, without any substances, because each substance will be lost because they have no modification. So this way, Jainism also differs from other philosophies. Lots of things appear to be same, but fundamentally it differs. And so as long as you know fundamentals, then, things are going here also is good. Christianity has something good. Judaism is good. Forget it. Don't worry about it. You have the discrimination within you. A soul cannot be without any mode. Matter cannot be without any mode, etc., etc. All those things. So this common attributes teaches us how to be mean, how to be a mean person, how to be swarthi. Swarthi, selfish? No, swarthi means swa-arthi. Swa means self, arthi means for. For myself only, I think about it. When I think about myself, when I get engrossed within myself, then I can be doing lots of worldly objects, but I'm not doing it. Everybody is doing their own job. I'm doing my own job, etc. That will be some other day. We'll talk about nimitik sambandh, etc. in great detail. But for today, these are the 6 universal, 6 as common attributes that we have to know it. Next time we'll know it. Next time we'll know the specific attribute, and thereafter we'll know about the modification. So Harshil, I'll possibly will need two more classes to complete this topic. Okay. All right. So here I'll rest. If there's question, we can take it.
Can you unshare your screen, Uncle?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, so we have learned today about the छह सामान्य गुण, six common attributes which are present in every substance, regardless of whether it is jeev or pudgal or maybe any other substance. So now, since we are running out of time, the session is open for any questions or any points which anybody wants to raise. Anybody? Okay. So I think we have completed six Samanya Gun now, and in further lecture we will be talking about the Gun part later on in the third module. In the second module, we will be taking one more lecture. I guess, Creed Uncle, yes, one more lecture.
I think I'll need because common some specific attribute and modes also will need today. So you'll need two.
Okay, definitely we can discuss that.
It will be because
So
one will be too compact, so two will be good.
understand. Okay, so obviously we are running so much out of time today, but since the topic was very crucial, so we do not have any further questions from the audience. We can conclude the topic for today. And before I go for Jinmani Stuti, let me share my screen and explain you all about the access points. So as discussed, you can visit the JEEV website. Under the JEEV website, you can go to the resources, navigate the topic you want to explore. In the screenshot, you can see substances, attributes, and modifications is the one which we are learning at the moment. Then you can click on the topic. Once you click it, you will receive a link to access the course. This portal is more like any of the portals like Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, or an academy, or many other learning platforms which you must be using in your day-to-day life. You can view your courses on your dashboard. The only difference is this course is totally free and there is no amount which you need to pay here. Select the course you wish to access and you will gain entry to its content including article, presentations, quizzes and more. So these are the resources. Once you click on the topic, you will get to know the resources, all the resources, whether it is the recorded lecture which we are recording today, whether it is the article, maybe the Shastra, maybe some Gurudev Shri lecture snippets, or much more. So I would recommend please go to the JEEF portal. You can access, you can see, go through the portal. If you feel like you want any demonstration, you have any query, feel free to email us on this website support@jeev.net.in. And to get regular updates on the lectures, you can join the WhatsApp community and you can also subscribe to the YouTube channel. And once we are done with the lecture in next 24 to 48 hours, we generally upload the recording of the existing lecture. Yeah, if you have any queries, feel free to reach out to us on the email. Creed Uncle, we can proceed with Jinvani Stuti.
निज निधि निज में बताई यही अनंत उपकार है इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है वंदना सत बार है जावाणी के ज्ञान से सूझे लोकालोक सो वाणी मस्तक नमो सदा देता हूँ 9 times नमो का मंत्र